What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. I hope everyone's having a fabulous day. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and Litecoin for our daily update. Our targets did hit from yesterday. Let's see if we got a little bit higher to go or if we're going to correct from here, a big correction, small correction. I'll take a look at some areas we want to watch and definitely stick around. Also, I want to remind you there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's totally free, guys. Let's get on with the video. All right, guys, I want to remind you this is not financial advice, nor is it investment or trading advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market, not yours. There's a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it. All right, so looking at the fear and greed index, we're at 54. We dropped 2 points from yesterday, so a little bit more towards fear, but we are leaning towards greed in the indicator. Also, I want to remind you guys, this is more or less just for fun. It doesn't really have a whole lot to do with anything. Just kind of shows you the sentiment of the market. Want to take a look at the longs versus shorts. Bitfinex, BitMEX, and Binance combined. The longs are 67.70%. Shorts are 32.30%. But keep in mind that Bitfinex longs are extremely high, crazy high still. But a lot of people are calling for a long squeeze and have been calling for a long time. But I don't really pay attention to this Bitfinex one, to be honest with you. So looking at where we're at now, looking at the monthly chart, volume's still declining, as you can see down here. And I redrew this line. Now, I know in the weekly and in the daily, we've already broken out. But if I clone this bottom line off these two wicks here, measuring the channel, and put it up here, like I did here, the top of that in the monthly is 92.45. So we would have to break and close above 92.45 before this is bullish on the monthly, in my opinion. Let's look at the weekly. Like I said, so on the weekly here, we have broken out. If you look at it as a falling wedge off of these 3 points, we have broken out. The weekly volume is still declining. We haven't had a breakout volume yet, but mind you, we are only in the middle of the week, so we got all week to get that volume raised up there. But like I showed you in the monthly, if you look at it that way, we have not broken out yet, even though this looks pretty promising. And the RSIs here have all turned up bullish. And as you guys know, I use the 8, the 13, the 21, 55, and 200. 200's way down here. And if you look right here at the 54, if we take a Fibonacci retracement and go from the swing low to the swing high, this is the 0.786 retracement, which I believe would be our worst case bearish scenario at the 5400. And by the time I got over here, the 200 EMA would probably line up right around there. So that's worst case scenario, guys, in my opinion. I also have a target at 49, which is just bouncing off this trend line down here. Now, as you guys can see, and I'll show you real quick why I have this 11,150 here. If I take a Fibonacci retracement and we go from the swing low over here, the swing high up here to the swing low on this move here, you can see we came up and tested the 0.65, 0.618 golden pocket area. Let's do that same thing over here. Let me get this one off of here. Got to flip it. And if we do the same thing over here, going from the swing high, if we have hit bottom, which I do believe we have, the 0.618 and 0.65 Fibonacci retracement zone is right there at 11,126, which also lines up with this trend line here, guys. Now, we could have something just like this. We come back up here and come down again for one more test of this before the breakout, which I think is extremely possible. And if we do a measured move of that triangle, the orange triangle, and if we broke out somewhere in this area, which would be around the 98, 97, that would be after coming here. Now, we don't know this is going to happen. I'm just showing you why I believe so. It all measures up nicely, but we get another bounce off of here. Say we break out up here in June, somewhere in that area. Our measured move is going to be around the $29,000 range. Depending on where we break out here, that's going to change. But all I did with this white trend line here is I cloned the one that we're bouncing off of now. So that's why that's all there. Anyways, and as you can notice, still declining volume in the weekly. Let's go into the RSI. We've been watching this for some time. Now, if you see this red line here, that is support and resistance long term from, since the beginning. Although this is Coinbase chart, so we don't have anything past 2015. But back here in 2013, we capitulated under this red line, came back, broke back above it, came down, tested it for support, and continued our bull run into 2017. In 2018, we capitulated a bit below it again, broke back through, came down, tested it for support, and I do believe we're moving on up from here. But that's not to say we don't have small corrections, guys. Even though I do think the bottom's in my opinion, we still are going to have corrections most likely. Now let's look at these targets here I have on the daily. I still have this 91.76 target up here, and that I'll show you was just a measured move, measuring this here as a flagpole. I don't know where that went, but I'll put it back in there real quick. Just measuring this whole move here as a flagpole right there, and then this was a bull flag in here, and the breakout was measured up to the 91.76, 91.50 range. No guarantees we get there. As you can see, we are in this rising broadening wedge, and the measured move, if we were to break up from here, guys, and break up and out of there, the measured move is going to be around the 10,300 range. Yeah, right in there. Actually, a little more. Right around 10,460, somewhere in that area. That's if we continue up, but we are getting resistance on the top of this. Now, let me show you our retracement zones. I put a Fibonacci retracement from the swing low to the swing high here. And we have our neckline here about 7,700. As you can see in the daily, the EMIs are bullish. The 8 has crossed the 200. The 13 is heading that way. Everything's crossed the 8, the 13, and 21. If you guys are trading, I do have some quick tutorials on like how I read these EMAs. And some other ones, just go into my webpage or my YouTube page and you'll see the tutorials in there. I also have a BitMEX tutorial. If you guys are interested in leverage trading, I do suggest you do a testnet free. It's very, very risky. So don't put in more than you're willing to lose, and don't trade crazy high leverage if you are going to try it. So anyways, all right, looking at where we're at now, we have, like I said, the 91.76 target up here. And if we do the Fibonacci retracement, the 0.5 retracement of this move here, if we're finished, would be back down to the 76.83. That's the 0.5. It just is confluent with this long-term resistance over here, turn support, and right along with the bottom of this rising broadening wedge. Now, if we were to fail and break down from there, from this area here, that would be a measured move down towards the 5,700, down to the somewhere in this area. But I would expect to come down and touch the 0.786 Fibonacci if we did break down, guys. We don't have to break down from there. Like I said, I gave you the measured move if we broke up and out of there, which is around 10,400. Now, we'll go into the 4 hour next, and then we'll go into Litecoin. But I just wanted to show you that real quick. This is what we're looking at for now. I have a better view of it in the 4 hour of what's going on. So we've got to reject it again. This does look like a rising wedge here, guys. And this was our target from yesterday. As you can see, we hit it and we just tested it again almost perfectly. And again, guys, I don't put these targets into the penny. I give you a roundabout estimate of where they're going to go, in my opinion, just by measured moves. Now, if we were to come down, and let's put a Fibonacci retracement on this last little move here from the swing low to the swing high. The 0.382 would be around the 84.30 level. That's most likely where we're headed short term if we are correcting. Keep in mind, we could continue up from here, guys, and break up. But As of right now, we are getting rejected here, but usually when the wicks break through, that's a sign we're going to end up breaking through, and we'll take a look at the RSI here in a minute. But I do have the neckline down here at 76.59, and that is how I got the, move this over, that is how I got the measured move of that 8,900, was just going back up to the neckline, and boom, that's where we got that from, just so you guys know. But if we are going to get rejected and come back down here, like I said, the 84.38 would be the bottom of this falling wedge. If that breaks, guys, the measured move on the falling wedge would be measuring the widest part right here up to the top. And we take that, say we broke down at 84.38, we'd be looking down towards around the 7,000 range. Keep in mind this point, or this 7,228 is our 0.618 Fibonacci. And if you look at, let me get this wedge out of the way. If we were to break that wedge and come down here, that would be a rising broadening wedge, which could be bearish. And a measured move of the breakdown of that, if we broke down from that 72 range, it's going to be around that 5,400, guys, which is our 0.786 retracement. So that 7,228 is going to be key. Obviously, we could do a double bottom as long as we didn't pass the 64.19. But again, guys, I explained it a few times. I do believe we bottomed out here. I do believe this was a stop hunt here from anyone that went long here and had their shorts just below. This would have came and ate up their shorts. That's just my ate up their shorts. That sounds kind of funny, right? I want to remind you guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash your likes. Leave your comments. That also gets you entered to win a free t-shirt. So anyways, yeah. But that's what I'm looking at here, guys. Let me put this back up here, and then we'll go into Litecoin. Let's go into the RSI, see if the RSI is telling us anything. So in the RSI, we're still in this rising channel in red. We've had 3 touches on the bottom, 2 touches on top. We may be coming up for another touch here, and that would be most likely get us up to that possibly $10,000 range, if that was to happen. But again, we could be just in this rising wedge and gonna fall out of it. So keep an eye on that, guys. If we continue up from here and break the 90, around the 9,300, I believe we could be headed towards the 10.4. But again, it does look like we are correcting here. We've gotten rejection twice at our target. So let's keep an eye out for 84.38. If that breaks, we do have the 0.618 at about 81.54. 0.5 retracement at about 8,300. But I do believe if we break below that 84.38 range, we're most likely coming down into at least retest this neckline here about 76.50, somewhere in that range. If that breaks, then we look at the lower targets. Let's go into Litecoin. Litecoin on the daily. As you can see, we have the falling wedge drawn here. And the measured move of the breakout there, guys, is right here where we broke out, 78.63. Now, as you can see right now, we're getting resistance at the 200 EMA. But at the same time, our EMAs have all crossed bullish here. Our 8, 13, and 21 is now crossing in the daily. If we continue up here, if we break down here, that may negate that and the 21 turn over. But as of right now, this is all still looking pretty bullish, guys. Another thing, if we look at the RSI, we had this falling channel in yellow. We broke out of it. And we had this broadening wedge here in white. We have broken out of the broadening wedge up on the top here. So that's looking pretty bullish, guys, for the daily. Keep an eye on that. Let's look at the 4-hour now. We're going to the 4-hour and look at what we got going on here. Now, if this is any telltale, as you can see, this looked like a rising wedge here. Kind of the same thing as Bitcoin, and when it broke out, obviously you see what happened. Our target did hit. We overshot it a little bit from yesterday, 59.73. I do have some higher targets there, and I'll show you how I got those, and then we'll look at the RSI. So, all right. Looking at this, we already took a look at the falling wedge breakout possibility. Let's take a look at these measured moves now. I know it seems kind of messy, guys. I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible. First of all, we'll look at the EMAs here. You can see they're all turned up bullish. We are getting support all the way up on the 8 EMA. Let me get those off there now just so it clears up the chart a little bit. and see what I'm looking at. So this is the neckline here, and we do a measured move off that neckline from the low, bring it up to where we broke out. That gets us up to 63.08. That is a possibility that is still where we're headed. But we could come back down, correct around in this area somewhere. Let me put a Fibonacci trend, measure it here, look for the 1-to-1 extension, and that is around the 54. So we could be headed back down towards the 54 if we don't continue up from here. But yeah, we have broken out of, let me get the right measured move in here. We have broken out of this wedge here, guys. Rising wedge, which are usually bearish. That's what's telling me these charts are pretty damn bullish right now. But that measured move gets us up to that 63 also, which was the same as the measured move from here, the break of the neckline. So we could definitely be headed that way, although we do have some heavy wicks here showing heavy rejection in the 4-hour. But we'll see. We could just get a correction down, retest this trend line, maybe around the 54.77, somewhere in that range before continuing up. But let's see what happens. If we do a measured move, if we're done here, if we are going to correct from here and we measure this whole thing here, we could correct all the way back down to 45, worst case $41 range. So keep that in mind if we have topped out here, guys. I still think we could get right about here around the 55. We could hit this trend line again, get a nice bounce up, and then maybe correct from there. We'll keep an eye on it. I will keep you updated. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, tick the notification bell, get you notified when I post new videos. Smash the likes, guys. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. It also gets you entered to win the free t-shirt on Sunday, and I will see you later. Take it easy, guys.